Hi, Nana here. Ready for your bedtime story? I was just sitting here a minute ago and one of my doors was open and a little birdie flew in and he flew around the lounge and then flew back out again. Little monkey. Didn't even knock on the door. Anyway, get all sorts of things in here. I've had mice and get lots of bees and wasps and stuff. And sometimes I get a little Rosie. But she's not been around for a while because she had a little operation and she's not feeling herself. But I'm sure she'll be back again soon. Anyway, I've got a different sort of story for you today. It's called This Moose Belongs to Me. And I just thought you might like a different story. So this moose belongs to me. Wilfred owned a moose. He hadn't always owned a moose. The moose came to him a while ago and he just knew that it was meant to be his. He thought he'd call him Marcel. It's a bit of a strange name for a moose, don't you think? He began following Marcel, explaining the rules of how to be a good pet. Much of the time it seemed as though the moose wasn't listening, but Wilfred knew he was, mostly because he followed Rule 4 very well. Rule 4 was not making too much noise while Wilfred plays his record collection. Sometimes the moose wasn't a very good pet. He generally ignored Rule 7, going whichever way Wilfred wants to go. I'm trying to push the moose. The moose had a very good sense of direction, and Wilfred did not. And because the moose was particularly poor on Rule 7, maintaining a certain proximity to home, Wilfred quickly learned to bring some string along on their outings so he could find his way back. Can you see Wilfred there, rolling up his ball of string? Sometimes the moose was an exceptional pet. He had no trouble with Rule 11, providing shelter from the rain. Or Rule 16, knocking down things that are out of Wilfred's reach. Getting his apples. One day, as Wilfred discussed their plans for the coming year on a particularly long walk, he made a terrible discovery. Oh, that's his plans. Look, I think he's planning to go out to sea with the moose. And what his discovery is. Someone else thought they owned the moose. There's a little old lady there going, Rodrigo, you're back. Wilfred was dumbstruck. The moose was Marcel, not Rodrigo. The old lady was mistaken, and Wilfred thought it only proper that he correct her. This moose belongs to me, he exclaimed. And to prove it, he called Marcel. Heel. But the moose did not respond. He seemed more interested in the old lady. But she's offering him an apple, so I'm not surprised. Embarrassed and enraged, Wilfred rushed off for home. But in his haste, and miles from anywhere, he tripped over his string and got tangled up. Oh no. And he lay there. Oh, look. Poor Wilfred. Wilfred was beginning to get a little bit worried. It was past his home time now, and the monsters would soon be out. He had just ruled out the last of his options when along came the moose. Look, he's going through all these things in his head. And there as along comes the moose. And performed Rule 73 brilliantly, rescuing your owner from a perilous situation. Look, he's hanging off his antler there. I'm not sure the moose knows he's doing it though, do you? All was forgiven, and perhaps Wilfred admitted he'd never really owned the moose anyway. With that in mind, he and the moose reached a compromise. The moose would agree to all of Wilfred's rules. See, he's still in a waiter's outfit there, look. I don't think he's going to be doing much of that, do you? Whenever it suited him. So off he went. To where mooses should live. In the mountains, I think. He looks a lot happier there, doesn't he? And there's a little man going, Dominic, you're back. Give me an apple. I think that moose belongs to everybody. So that was a strange story, wasn't it? Have you got a moose in your hoose? Bet you've not. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, I will see you again tomorrow. So sleep really well, and it's school day tomorrow. So really exciting. And I love you loads and loads, and I will read you another bedtime story tomorrow. So, I love you loads and loads, Torben, and I love you loads and loads, Atty, and I love you loads and loads, Ruby, and I love you loads and loads, Max. So be good, sleep well, and I'll see you tomorrow.